Sundays are no work days for me now. I've changed my schedule so many times over the years with the shift work and whatnot that it's changed a million times. But Sundays now have become a non-work day. I'm trying to also make sure that Saturday as well also is a no-work day, specifically because the kids are now growing older, and my boy, the 9-year-old, not quite 9, but 8 and almost 9, started playing basketball. And so Saturday is basketball game, Sundays is training, and so today I've gone to the training. Sitting on the sidelines watching, something occurred to me. Something occurred to me which, I've tried to, as always, put that bit of thought into the grand scheme of things of the puzzle. So I'm sitting there watching on the sidelines, and I noticed my son's just started playing club, right? So he's in one of the lower divisions, Div 5. Div 5 and Div 6 train together. So all shapes and sizes of kids. Some are really tall, some are really short. Some have played before, some haven't. And you pick up patterns, right? Not everyone develops at the same rate. So there are kids the same age as him, but some of them are a head taller than him and more physically developed. And so they can run faster. They can, obviously taller, so they can get most of the rebounds. And so I'm here, on the sidelines. Over the last, year or so, I've kind of been coaching my son and giving him ideas on what he can excel at. And I've got lots of knowledge about basketball, lots of experience. That's my main sport. It wasn't barbell squats or anything like that. So I've got a lot of experience with this, and I'm trying to kind of solve the puzzle or help him solve the puzzle. And I've been finding a lot of similarities and a lot of debriefing in my own self as I've kind of been going through this journey. And trying to massage him into certain positions, into certain ideas. Obviously, you can't just tell somebody, do this, do that, especially at 8 years old. They don't listen. Neither did I. Who did? But it made me think today. So some of these kids that are more developed, they're going to be more effective. And they're not going to be forced to problem solve as much as the kid that's struggling. If you're tall, if you're fast, you can just spam that. And you can keep spamming that for a number of years. In fact, I remember when I played, there were kids that were very, very tall very early on in their life. And so they were the forward, they were the center. And so they played state, they abused everyone because they were the biggest, the strongest. They'll push kids out of the way and just score point blank range baskets. They'll get all the rebounds. They would just dominate because everyone else was more of a child. And then around under 18s, under 16s, under 18s, the rest of us started growing, and some of these dominant players were not as dominant as before because now I can push you back. I'm not that much shorter than you, and so now you can't just overpower me. Obviously, there are going to be kids around the place kind of like Shaq. They just continue to grow until 7 feet, and they bully men as well. But for the most part, in a lot of these youth divisions, there's not going to be any Shaqs around. There's going to be just everyone, everyone's going to be kind of similar height. Sure, there are examples of taller kids, but eventually everyone catches up to everyone somewhat. And so it levels the playing field, and the kid that struggled earlier on will have more tools in his shed because he had to struggle and work things out and struggle some more. And is there anything better for learning than struggle? That's the key motivator. Losing is the key motivator. Struggling is the key motivator. In fact, something that I've experienced, recently, as soon as things started getting a little bit easier, I started to kind of lose that motivation. Not lose the motivation, but it was different kind of motivation to when I was struggling. When I was struggling, the fire was fierce. The inspiration was fierce. I really wanted to work it out. And when I started to get things kind of worked out, I definitely felt a drop in motivation because I'm not struggling anymore. I'm in cruise control now. Things are just going to start coming my way, right? That's kind of the psychology behind it. My son is one of the smaller kids, and, he can't outrun anyone. He can't jump anyone. He can't push anyone around. And so I'm kind of teaching him how he can manipulate the game to his advantage. So, I'm kind of teaching him the Klay Thompson way, run into open space, catch and shoot, run into open space. And so my son is continuously making cuts. And it's been a bit of a tough sell for this strategy for me to him, because at this age, all the kids want to go to the ball. And what dad is telling him to do is run away from the ball. That's not intuitive for him. That's counterintuitive for him to run away from. I want to play basketball, Dad. Why are you telling me not to run to the ball? I want to run to the ball. But from an experienced set of eyes and a brain that have just been around this game for a long time, jungle ball, when everyone's around each other, there's just no space. You just get suffocated. No one can do anything. And so he's been kind of doing this in the last few weeks, and he's been quite effective. He's running around, and what that does, he creates scoring opportunities for him, but also his teammates, because now he's dragging defenses away from the pack to him, and so some of these more gifted kids can now, find a lane to the basket and score and whatnot. So the struggle has taught him something. And now eventually he's going to grow into a 6'1" guy like me, hopefully a bit bigger. And he's going to be a little bit bigger. But he's going to have that tool, that struggle that he's gone through. He's going to have that behind him. And he's going to have maybe a skill that some of these kids that are dominating right now don't quite appreciate. Now, you can teach this kid later on, but he's never had that struggle. And when there's struggle early on in the piece, you get forced to work things out. You get forced to truly understand what the hell is going on here. Losing is the best motivator. Struggling is the best motivator. And something that I've realized in recent times is that, man, is such a great motivator. But you need to kind of continuously put yourself in a state where you are struggling. You need to struggle. And when you get comfortable in struggling, you will improve. It's going to push you forward. It's something that I've found kind of parallels between those two scenarios in my own training journey, in how intrinsic some of these feelings are, and you don't even know they're coming around. Some of the decisions that you've made either really fuel you or really take the fuel away. And I don't know how many times I've heard people say to me, "Oh, Ivan, I can't believe you're still squatting every day. I can't believe you do this, that." And the bottom line for me, I always kind of refer back to the idea of, I don't feel like it's a feat because I've made this an enjoyable experience. I want to come back. It's not like someone's got a gun to my head. Maybe some of these training programs out there that people are following, I don't know, like in terms of scale of how motivated you are right now listening to me talk, but I've gotten used to being very motivated and very inspired all the time because I'm making decisions in my training that are fueling this. If you tell me, here's a world-class coach, follow this, sure, maybe the results are going to be better, but am I going to get the same feeling that I just had with this beautiful period that I had, adding 20 plus kilos to my squat? Is that the feeling? Geez, if that's the case, then I don't know how fun that is and how lasting that is. I know it's about progress, but what if you can get that progress and you can kind of manipulate so you do have a bit of freedom? You can do have a little bit of wiggle room to enjoy the process and be inspired. Another thing which I found out is with these kids in basketball, some kids are shooting it from the hip, some are twisting, some are lefty, some are right. It's interesting to see the human brain process certain scenarios so differently. You're sitting on the sidelines, these kids are very young. This is the first kind of few experiences they've had in this basketball world. And you can see how they have different approaches, how to go about things. Some go for the efficiency. Some listen to their parents really, really well and choose the right way to do it, but then they can't shoot very far away. Elbow in, follow through, hand in the cookie jar. It looks all good, but if my son shoots like that, he can't shoot more than 2 meters away. It's struggle. But then there's this kid who's launching it from the 3-point line that looks like a chest pass. What is the best way? So that comes down to the personality of the child, personality of the lifter. What really makes you tick? Are you going to go for the more efficient way, something that's going to get you result right away? Or are you going to pick the harder path and really plan for the future when you do develop, and then this technique that you're practicing is going to look really, really good and it's going to serve you because you've had more years with this, technique, and now you've got this body. And so there's a lot of moving parts here. And so, when it comes to this training thing that we're doing, motivation, inspiration, the energy behind what you do is a big, big deal. And I feel like it's on a continuum between listening to somebody because that's the evidence base is the best approach, and that inspired, everyone's different, but that inspired thing where you come in here, there's no plan, you spend 3 freaking hours testing, retesting, messing around. Like, that's when I'm really at my absolute peak in terms of motivation and inspiration, because I'm not just doing the work, but I'm also like intellectually stimulated, and I'm learning and I'm experimenting and I'm enjoying the different angles and all of that. And certainly, you know, the basketball court, like you see all these different kids, man, some kids are just flat out having fun and they don't give a shit what the coach and what the parents are, you know, doing. So they're kind of on this left side of people that are just like having fun. And then you have that world-class powerlifter who is probably not even having fun at all. He's just going through the motions because the coach said. And obviously, if you're, you know, a hobby lifter out of a garage, you have a passion for this, but you're being threatened now because life gets in the way. You know, you require now even more motivation to get yourself in here. Is it really beneficial for you to do that program? Because you're now teetering on quitting altogether? Or should you just say, screw all that, let me just come in. All I've got in my head all day today is I'm going to come in today and just train, maybe chest, maybe back, see how I feel. I'll move around a little bit and see what I pick up and go from there. I know certainly for me that is the most inspiring method of going about it. But then every so often I hear people coming in with that efficiency, that evidence-based, that world-class coach said this and that and whatever. Me as a lifter, nah, man, I'm that kid that wants to launch it from the halfway and have fun. Of course, I want to train as well and listen to the coach, but I gotta have my fun, man. I have to have my fun. Because if I don't have my fun, I'll stop playing basketball and there's no chance of me going to the NBA then. You see what I mean? World-class coach leading you to the NBA, the powerlifting champion. If you have that world-class coach train the under 8s, none of those kids are going to do any weightlifting. They're going to quit very, very soon. So there's a nuance here. There's a massage, there's a manipulation aspect to all of this. Even though you might have in your head exactly what you need to be doing, it's okay to venture out and experiment a little bit. Because nothing is black and white. Nothing is black and white. You need to understand that. And certainly, you know, with everything that I've learned about, you know, the Russian system, they will tell their, you know, athletes, whatever it is, they will tell their athletes, okay, in the off season, I want you to play soccer. Olympic weightlifter playing soccer? Shit, for a couple of months, you just play soccer, play basketball, play netball, play volleyball, whatever it is, just play a different sport. Because people burn out. Seems like people burn out, people stop. And I don't know, like I've been doing this now for, you know, damn near 6 years. And the amount of people that have come and gone and then come back and be like, holy shit, man, you're still doing it. And I'm like, well, why did you stop? Oh, you know, this, that, the other. And I know the feeling. I know. There was nothing here to really grab you and hold you because you were following some rigid program and now you're burnt out and now you don't give a shit and you left. That to me is a tragedy. But these conversations can never be had because these people have even gone away that you can't even communicate with them anymore. Like this is, they're finished. They're not even in the industry. They don't care about your videos. They don't care about they've left the community. But the people that are in the community, they will always argue that the most effective program is the most effective program. Until it isn't. And then you can't even have that conversation because they've completely left. They've quit. And here I am, 6 years with this very inefficient program, still here. That to me is an interesting thing. And so me as a father, me maybe as a basketball coach, I'm thinking to myself, I need to balance this stuff. I can't go Phil Jackson on their ass under 12s. I can't go Greg Popovich on their ass under 12s, man. Maybe I should go, guys, fucking, let's just launch halfway shots for this training session. Have fun. Because that fun is important. That fun is the fuel. That's the inspiration. That's that love. And you have to build love for this shit. And I don't know if you build it following blindly a training program. I'm sure there are exceptions to the rule. But sometimes just walking in here and doing shit because you just want to have fun is the best investment for the future. Maybe that's the key to all of this that doesn't get any attention. I don't know how many people have left it. Like, I've been in this for, like, even before I started making videos, man, I was in here, you know, training and loving this. And all these efficiency guys, science-based guys talking about all this shit, and then they disappear. I'm like, oh, well, so what does the science say about that? Oh, you haven't really read that paper, have you? You know, it's just interesting to me. It's that argument, you know. Maybe the best program is the one that you do. But people don't have that deep and meaningful thought about all of this. All they ever want to do is min-max. Min-maxing that freaking game, you know, might as well plug in the bloody cheats at the start of the game and play it if you're going to do that. If you're going to have a coach for playing a video game. Fuck, it's a video game, dude. It's supposed to have fun. The main idea is fun. But everyone does everything so they can be at the world stage, you know. Oh, Ivan, you know, you got this car. You know, what are your times on this track? Dude, I just fucking like the car. I don't want to fucking lap it. Oh, Ivan, you do powerlifting. You know, when are you going to break the world record? Jesus, pump the brakes a bit, dude. You know, the 8-year-old son. Oh, you know, so how are you going to get to Div 1 by next month? Because if you don't, then you're falling behind. There's no way you're going to make the NBA. Dude, he's 8. Let him shoot the shot. There needs to be a balancing act in all of this. And seeing my son go through this stage, I'm like, I even caught myself. I'm like, what am I doing, man? What am I telling him? Of course, I want to teach, but also I need to pedal back a little bit and pump the brakes a bit and be like, nah, he wants to just have fun. You can't kill the fun, man. You cannot kill the fun. You got Greg Popovich on his ass too early. He won't go to the training session next week. You run that amazing training program too many times in a row. You're burning out, dude. You're going to stop this altogether. What have you done then? It's an interesting thought. And especially when you're a father, or perhaps even a coach, when you love this so much and you have all of the answers in your head, you just want to like, oh, I got grass in my hair. Just did the lawns. You just want to grab the head and put it in his head. Son, teach. I've got like 30 years of this experience. Take it. What if that process would just remove the fun out of it? Because you can't really teach love. How did I play basketball? Play with my brother, man, with his mates. I didn't know what a left hand was. I didn't know what a 1-2 step was. I just freaking played basketball, dude, and I worked the shit out on the fly. And after thousands of freaking hours, my dad got the opportunity to get me to a club, and I already came to the club with the heart, with the love for it. And then the coach, hey man, like, this is how you do this, how you do this, and then you build on that. Yeah. It's an interesting thing. You learn so much by watching people in all sorts of, you know, paradigms, all sorts of genres of sport. There's so much crossover. There's so much of this stuff. Yeah, you gotta allow fun, man. So now I'm gonna, you know, start training. I haven't even trained yet. Oh my god, it's a 20-minute video already. I haven't even trained yet. Am I gonna do legs? Am I gonna do chest? I don't know. Honestly, I've just opened the garage and I still don't know what I'm gonna do. I know I want to squat. I'm gonna warm up the hips and squat. After that, I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do. It's one of the two. I kind of want a chest pump. Do I feel like I want to trim my legs? I don't know. And that's important for me. I don't really know. 5 minutes away from bloody deciding, I don't really know. But I'll do something. I can't explain to you how liberating that shit is. It is so liberating. Anyway, let me get out of here and put that bar on my back, warm up a bit, and go from there. That spontaneity, whatever the word is, spontaneous training is fun for me. When I know I have to, when I know exactly what's going to happen in the next week, I don't know why that it just weighs me down, man. I can't really explain it. I work in emergency. Every day I go to work and I have no idea what I will be involved in. I have no idea what patients are going to come through the door. I know that I'm going to be
helping some people. But how exactly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the future holds. And I'm in peace with that. I'm really in peace with that. And people that have a different personality perhaps, or different way of how they think about things, they struggle in ED. Sometimes we get intensive care nurses down from ICU to come down, help us out when there's staff shortages, or from the wards or someplace like that. And a lot of them, I don't know, it's not their forte, it's not their comfort level, because in ICU and other places, sure, you know, unplanned events do happen. I mean, it can happen anytime. But a lot of it is structured. You know exactly what's going to happen over the next 12 hours of your patient. You do hourly observations. You maybe do half-hourly observations. You got these infusions. These are the orders, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's very much controlled. In ED, we have no idea. And so that kind of is fun to me. There's like a weightlessness feeling around that. Maybe a lot of people will process that completely differently and opposite. But for me, there's like, I don't know what's going to happen. I just know I'm going. I'm living. I'm in the moment. Over the last couple of months, it's been absolutely amazing. I've had structure, like really, really rigid structure, and I've been having results, and that kind of kept me going. And then all of that stopped, and then it's like looking down the barrel of 2 weeks of deload, can't touch anything, can't do anything, very restrained. Then I come back and do this and that, the other, and everything's like, you know, don't go over 3 plates on the squat. And today I decided to change that. Yesterday I did 200 kilos on the squat for the first time in a very long time, since that 237 PR. Came in yesterday, I tried it. Today I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. All I know is I'm going to squat. All day today I'm thinking, maybe it will be legs, maybe it will be chest, maybe I'll just have like a simple session today. I don't really know what's going to go. And I don't really care. And I said to you guys at the start of this video, I don't really know what I was going to do. Well, I ended up hitting 220 on the squat. I didn't plan it at all. Literally, I went 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate. And after the 3rd plate, I was like, yeah, I'll do 160. I did 160. I was like, yeah, that felt pretty good. I'll do 180. I'll do 180, yeah, or I'll do 200. Literally, I'm living in the moment. I'm only worried about the next 30 seconds. I don't even know what's going to happen after 30 seconds until I reach that 30-second mark, and then I assess and go from there. There's a degree of comfort with that. And I can't explain it, but that's me. And that to me is fun. It's a weightless feeling. It's something that I thrive on. And something that I've been telling everyone, this is how you do 6 years of squatting every day. This is how you do anything every day. You just know you're going to play the guitar. I don't really know what song I'm going to play. I'm going to play the guitar. There's songs that you hate playing, I'm sure. I have no idea how to play guitar, by the way. But I'm sure there's songs that people hate. But they're really beneficial for you, for your whatever, rhythm and how you touch the strings and all that stuff, whatever. But you know when you do play that note, that song, it's so beneficial for you, like levels you up. But it dawns on you, like it's heavy. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Just come in and play your favorite tunes. Play your favorite tunes, and once you get warmed up, maybe you have the energy then to do it. But don't think about it. Decide in the moment. It's almost like a tricking thing. But you live your life weightless because you don't really know what's going to happen. You're just literally going about it. And a lot of my PRs have happened like that. Even that, when I said structure during the PR, I had no idea if I was going to do it Saturday, if I was going to do it Friday, if I was going to do it Sunday. It's just whenever the feeling kind of felt pretty good. And it just happened to be that I'll be feeling pretty good on a Saturday most of the time, or a Sunday. And that's how I did it. At the start of the week, I knew I was kind of going to do it on Saturday or Sunday, but there was no definite feeling. And even then, that's what I call structure. And even then, I was kind of feeling okay. Not as 100% as this, but I was feeling okay. Now, the reason why I did 220 today is because, I'm not even doing anything. I'm not preparing anything. I'm just in limbo right now, just moving weights around and trying to get my conditioning back up and exposed to the back and the groin stuff and blah, blah, blah. It does no harm to me doing 220 kilos right now. If it felt pretty good, it felt pretty good. And it did feel pretty good. Just exist, just be. Have fun. Have fun. Don't Greg Popovich everything. Don't Phil Jackson everything. Don't, Pep Guardiola everything or Mourinho everything. No, sure, there are right answers, but sometimes a wrong answer is the right answer because you're having fun. And that's building that tank of fun. It's building that tank of, I really want to come back tomorrow again because that was really, really cool. It was free form. It was tiki-taka. It was just dance. I'm dancing in here, man. I don't even know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Maybe I'll do some legs, but what if legs pretty free? Well, I won't do legs tomorrow then. I don't know. I might hit biceps again. I don't know. That freedom is fun. It is so refreshing. I can't even explain to you guys, how beautiful that is to me. It's fun. It's free. I don't know. It's just cool to me. And it fuels me. And it makes me want to come back tomorrow. Like today I had a lot of fun. And I reckon it was purely because it was just spontaneity at its finest. I just did things how they came to me. I love that. Appreciate you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.